Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, The Mom Is Here Critique. I'm Pascal, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing The Devil Wears Prada 2, which stars Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Stanley Tucci, Emily Blunt, and many more. This is the 20-year follow-up to the wildly popular movie that came out in 2006, surrounding these same characters as they navigate the cutthroat worlds of fashion and media publishing. I'll be honest, while I really do like the first movie and Meryl Streep is iconic as Miranda Priestley, I'm actually not as high on it as like the rest of the internet and the world seems to be. I actually get pretty bored during the last third act of the movie, and it just completely loses gas for me. So I really wasn't chomping at the bit for a sequel, and I just really wasn't excited about this one, but I went to go see it anyways. And I must say the sequel is pretty good and entertaining. It's not an improvement on the first movie, but I think it treats these lovable characters with care, and it tells a realistic story about the state of media right now, even though there is some wishful thinking going on here as well. In the sequel, we learn that Anne Hathaway's character, Andy Sachs, is an accomplished journalist who is now unemployed because that's really just the state of media right now in 2026. So many of these outlets are just losing money right now, and its owners are choosing to fire really talented reporters and journalists while pocketing wealth for themselves. Everyone is getting fired and no one is getting hired is like the name of the game across multiple industries right now, and it sucks. I'm depressing myself, so let's just move on. Anyways, Andy lands back at Runway magazine to help clean up their editorial image after a regretful article is published. This, of course, is to the chagrin of Miranda, as she doesn't like to be reminded that she needs to rely on other people sometimes to be successful. This tension was just like a really great reminder and throwback to the chemistry that Anne and Meryl had in the first movie, and the latter is just so good at playing this cold, vicious person. The main conflict of this movie is that Runway magazine is struggling financially and it is on the verge of being sold and scaled down dramatically. I do love that this movie is earnestly trying to make the case for journalism's importance and value, though it just might be too little too late. Like, the saxophones are already playing for this industry. And like I said, even though it is a really earnest effort to talk about the importance of journalism, I honestly wish they went in a little more. There was so much talk about how much journalism is important, but it never really showed why it's so important. I wish it was a true deep dive into journalism, specifically fashion journalism, because I know it's still worth fighting for. This movie needed a updated cerulean sweater monologue to really make the case for journalism, and we just didn't have that. Instead, it was more of a screed about the dangers of pushing out talented, experienced people in the name of profit. I also feel like fashion took a back seat in the sequel. The looks in the first movie were so great, and each scene made a meal out of them, and we didn't really have that here. There was actually a montage of the crew wearing different outfits for an event, but the way it was shot prevented you from seeing the entirety of the outfits from top to bottom, and I don't really get that choice. There's also a really small romance plot with Andy's character that at first I felt was really unnecessary, and they really weren't all that cute together. But then I realized they had to include it because if they didn't, there's just nothing really going on with Andy's character. She just wakes up and goes to work. I think they just needed to include this other aspect of life, so it made it seem like she did more than just work at Runway and have one friend. But despite all these shortcomings, I really did think it was a decent movie. Tucci is really heartwarming and soft here, and while Meryl plays Miranda a touch muted compared to before, it's still a really great performance and actually left me wanting more. And I like this ending more than I like the first, even though it kind of switches gears and becomes a fantasy. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it kind of introduces a character and a decision that just wouldn't really make sense in reality, especially again with the state of media right now. But this is a fake movie. But I really like this movie. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but I think it is enjoyable and serviceable. And in the name of saving industries that are currently sinking, I am going to recommend that you watch it in a movie theater. And that is the Monda's Ear critique. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.